Guildmaster, Prelate, and Plot. This girl, I remember her. We'll say, my little lackey, your timing is perfect, Kupo. Look what I just found crumpled in the bottom of my... look what just popped into my post bag. My post bag. It's an official app seal from those doubtive defenders of Yuda. The brass blade. Needless to say, it must be delivered without delay. Do you recognize the seal? Any post-Moogle worth his salt knows what it signifies. An appeal for assistance. The blades are not one who asks for help, mind you. What they want, they usually take by force. These petitions are only sent when their inquiries lead them outside this jurisdiction. This is only addressed to Kokobuki, master of the Thaumaturge Guild. Those blades are nothing if not plucky, I must say. If I suspected the Thaumaturge of any manner of wrongdoing, I would stay well away. So hurry to Ulda, Kupo, and deliver the message before it's too late. Yeah... Kokobuki. It's been a while since I've been here. I still remember when I was just a Thaumaturge, running around, running errands, talking with the Buki brothers, the Koko brothers. Hey Buki. You are returned, you say. Do you seek to delve still more deeply in the fathomless realms to unreal? No, I sense your desires are altogether more worldly. Whatever you say. It seems that the name of our bondkeeper, Prelate Yayake, has been mentioned in connection with the Brassblade investigation. Former Guildmaster Mumuepo stands accused of fomenting insurrection against the crown, and they fear Yayake may have become embroiled in this vile plot. Mumuepo has convicted of embezzlement 5 years ago, and sentenced to serve in the Coliseum as an Noxious, a prisoner of the arena, made to fight until his debts are repaid. He toils there to this day. When his crimes first came to light, it was the Sultana herself who pressed for a heavy sentence to serve as an example of the consequences of corruption that would give him reason enough to hold a grudge against the crown. And it is true that Prelate Yayake was his dearest disciple before his fall from grace. It is not beyond the realms of possibility that he might attempt to involve her in his schemes. A swift and decisive investigation is called for, and I believe I know just the man to carry it out. Oh, do not feign surprise. Why else would I go to the trouble of explaining the situation to you? Now, by way of first step, I would have you speak with Prelate Yayake herself. Probe her demeanor from any irregularities and report back to me. Okay. I like her. I don't think she's doing anything wrong. How dare you speak to me like that? Get out of my sight before I give you a reason to regret your presumption. Huh. My presumption? I only presume to be able to enroll in the guild without being turned away by a blooded receptionist. Of all people, your guildmaster will hear of this. You mark my words. Hey. Ryusei, I'm sorry you had to bear witness to that ugly scene. Such altercations must seem unspeakably petty to a man of your experience. It's alright. I find that I'm quite at a loss as to how to deal with this latest crop of initiates. Most are wholly oblivious to the dangers of thaumaturgy. They imagine our art pastime and would blindly embark on the path of oblivion without a moment's hesitation. If only they knew, I was here long before the brothers who serve as guildmasters today. For nigh on 15 years have I stood in this desk, and ushering and unsuspecting novices into the abyss. I have seen too many souls corrupted by the powers they did not understand, and could not control. So I have taken a stand. Any aspiring initiate who I judge to lack the necessary aptitude, I turn away. If that goes beyond Prelate's prerogative, so be it. Too often have I seen the spark of enthusiasm in the novice's eye to turn into the conflagration that consumes him. I cannot simply continue to stand by and do nothing. You may report my conduct to the Guildmaster if you wish. I believe that what I have done is right, and will take full responsibility for my actions. It is for the Council of Guildmasters to decide whether or not my conduct goes against the dicta of the Guild. Final judgment on the matter would fall to the eldest of the brothers, Master Kokobezi, I think. Ain't no way she's doing anything wrong, bro. Like, ain't no way. She is the only of you that is worth a damn. With all respect. I see. So Prelate Yayaki has been turning away prospective initiates, and I wonder why the number of new guild members had fallen so sharply. Now I know. Could this be a bitter fruit of Mumepo's unseen labor? Might be he working through Yayakas to deprive the guilds of new blood, and thereby precipitate our eventual downfall. If so, it has been for naught. While the quantity of recruits has undoubtedly fallen, their quality has soared. Each one is blessed with a natural aptitude for ethereal manipulation. Be that as it may, we cannot be sure of Yayaka's true motives. We must learn more from the recent behavior. Please speak with others around the ossuary and glean what the clues you can. Kokobezi? Prelate Yayaki, she's been in the guild longer than any of us, and yet she is still only a bone keeper, popping up the reception desk. I wonder why she refused the promotion so stubbornly. She was a loyal supporter of the previous Guildmaster, you know, right up until he was thrown out in disgrace. I suppose her feelings towards my brothers and I must be complicated, to say the least. That may explain why she still can't seem to get our names right. I had always imagined that it's a simple lapse of memory, but now that I think about it, I can't help but wondering if it might signify something. Could it be that in her heart of hearts, she has yet to accept us as her guildmasters? I think your names are just way too much alike. But if she's been here for around 10 years, around a decade, maybe there's some truth to that. So we should learn about Prelate Yayaki. There is but one thing to tell. She breaks her last on thaumaturgy attacks on subtle treaties. Mayhap literally, if the guild's librarians are to be believed. According to them, she has taken several weighty volumes from the ossuary, and has thus failed to return a single one. Just what could she be doing with them? That's suspicious. Prelate Yayaki, she's always had her hair in the book, and habit she picked up from Master Mumuepo, I believe. In the study of esoteric tomes, he was without equal, so skilled was he at extracting knowledge from the most cryptic texts that he was even able to bring several long-forgotten magics back to life. Such achievements prompted many to look past his more questionable activities, Yayaki among them. Others, however, were not so forgiving. The truth is, long before his fall from grace, there was more than a few in the guild who regarded him with suspicion. Not Yayaki though. She has always been such an earnest, single-minded person, completely devoted to deepening her understanding of thaumaturgy. She saw only her master's genius. Is there anyone outside? I guess, oh. It's night? I guess it's getting late. Oh gods, I'm good for the money, I swear. Just give me a few more days. What? You want to know if I've seen Prelate Yayaki? No? Alright, yes, I've seen her a couple times, heading through them doors over there, looking all shifty, stuck out like a sore thumb she did. That's back way to the Coliseum, see, and she don't like no fighter. Take you down to where you lock up them noxious fellers, I think. Maybe she's been paying one of them a visit. Yeah, now she's starting to get a little bit suspicious, but I mean, who isn't? Maybe there is some handsome Lalafell there, hopefully Lalafell, not something else. My little bird returns. Tell me, what information were you able to gather about the Prelate? I see. It seems Yayaki was more deeply enthralled to our predecessor than I first assumed. And the business of these missing tomes does not bode well. Mumuepo was renowned for his almost preternaturally ability to piece together scraps of arcane knowledge from the most moth-eaten manuscripts, and bring long-lost sorceries back to life. If, as it seems likely, Yayaki delivered the stolen tomes to him, He may at this very moment be endeavoring to awaken some dread magic within which exact vengeance against the Sultanate. But without knowing which tasks have been taken, we can only guess at his intentions. Hold on a moment. You did say the books had been removed from the guild's private collections, did you not? God be praised. There may yet be a way. Here, you say, take this. It is the full inventory of the guild's archives. List everything, every manuscript that lines these walls. Simply compare the books on the shelves against the tiles in this list, and our missing text shall be revealed. Aren't there like, hundreds of those? I didn't read that. Copy of Thaumaturgy, the Yawning Abyss appears missing. Yawning Abyss. What about this one? Lesser Key of Tau. And the last one. Copy of the Trough Kings appears missing. I heard they are... What? I heard they are plotting an attempt on the Sultana's life. Wow, okay. It is done. Quickly, then show me which tiles are missing. It is as I feared. All of the missing volumes are works which I held a special fascination for our former Guildmaster. It is all but certain that he requested them. Alas, I cannot speak for their content. What I can say is that Moogle will not have chosen them on a whim. Being a connoisseur of ancient manuscripts, we know the worth of every volume here. The illuminative worth, I should add, though he knows the pecuniary worth just as well. As you may have heard, he became obsessed with collecting lavishly ornaments codices, threatening our funds away on gilded or brill-welded copies of work already in our possession. He would even buy works of little scholarly value, providing they were rare enough to drive up the price. By the end, the walls of his study were awash with gold and gems, and he would stare at them for hours, wrapped in silent adoration. In his lust for luster, he emptied first the guild coffers, then his own, being driven at last to the felon's speculation that would prove his undoing. I mention this because the volumes which Ayake took were wholly without ornament, meaning that the Moogle desired for them for their content and not their form. I fear something terrible lurks in those pages. You say something which Moogle alone may be capable of discovering. There is nothing for it. The Prelate must be made stock. To the end of Yayake's shift draws near. I propose we lay a trap for her. Lying wait outside the rear entrance of the Coliseum, I will stalk her from the shadows, and when we have her corner, we'll close the net. Yeah. You. Heading back to the guild so soon, Prelate. What, Master Kokobuki, Prelate Yayake. You stand accused of treason. The brass blades have passed certain information to me which suggests that you have been conspiring with Moogle to incite rebellion against the crown. I have been conducting an investigation to establish the veracity of the report. Ryusei here has been assisting me in the inquiries. Treason? No, I will admit that I have sought to meet with Master Moogle, but he has yet to agree to speak with me. In what of the manuscripts you took from the guild, do you claim that you removed them not at your former master's behest, but upon your own initiative? I do. Though I know I was wrong. I thought that if I could show him some of the texts he used to love so much, it might help to rekindle the passion he once felt for his studies. By the time I realized how low he had sunk through this lust for gold, it was too late. If I had only paid more attention, if I hadn't been so absorbed in my own studies, I owe it to him to help him in whatever way I can. This weight has been on your heart for a long time. I failed my master in his hour of need, but I have been attempting to make amends for it ever since. I have neglected my own advancement and devoted myself to investigating what caused Master Moogle to stray from the path of enlightenment. In secret, I began to study the careers of every new initiate, hoping to identify such corruptive factors. In doing so, I feel I have gained an instinctive sense of which aspirants will bring honor to our noble art, and which stand at risk of being lost to the void. And so you began to turn away those applications, whom you deemed unsound, hoping to prevent future thaumaturges from following your former master down the path of self-destruction. That was my intent, yes. Yet, search as I might, I have been unable to find any precedent for my supposed predicative instinct in the ancient texts. Mayhap I have been deceiving myself along with everyone else. The text contains an accumulated knowledge of those who have gone before us. They do not preclude us from adding our own. The map of the void is ever incomplete. It is our duty to delve into its unknown reaches and bring back new insight to the guidance of the future generations. The ability to divine a man's nature at glance would make a valuable addition to the thaumaturge's arsenal. It warrants investigation. Can I rely on you to research this matter further? Should you find evidence to support your claims, I will of course require that you systematize the process. This shall be your atonement, Yayake, and fresh opportunity to resume your studies. Though the mistakes of the past cannot be undone, mayhap the mistakes of the future can yet be prevented. Thank you, Master. If it can be of any assistance to the guild, I shall devote myself to research with all my heart. I thank you, Ryusei, for helping to bring the truth to this matter to light. Rest assured that I shall instruct the breastplates that their suspicions regarding Prelate Yayake are completely unfounded. But for now, let us return to the ossuary. It is past time that the fruits of Prelate Yayake's labors were shared with the guild, not only to benefit the thaumaturges today, but for thaumaturges yet to come. We have all of the quests of the Moogles done for 2.4, and the best news is that 2.5, there's only 3. That's great.